जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन। जमुना तीरा वनचारी। जमुना तीरा वनचारी। जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन। जमुना तीरा वनचारी। जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jayam Vishnupad Paramhams Parivrajakacarya Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jayam Vishnupad Paramhams Parivrajakacarya Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhant Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपः कुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. This morning we are discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4th, entitled The Creation of Fourth Order, Chapter 19th, entitled King Pruthu's 100 Horse Sacrifices. Text 39 does not have purport, so I'll just read out text 39 in translation. And today's verse for recitation will be text 40, which has purport. After which we will also just read text 41 and 42 because they do not have purports, and that will complete the chapter 19. Text 39. Maitre Uvacha Ittam sa loka guruna samadhishto visampati tatha cha krutva vatsalyam maghonapi cha sandade. The great sage Maitreya continued, when King Prithu was thus advised by the supreme teacher, Lord Brahma, he abandoned his eagerness to perform yagyas and with great affection concluded a peace with King Indra. So today's verse for recitation is verse 40. Krita abrita snanaya Prithave भूरि कर्मणे वरान् ददुस् ते वरदा ये तद बर्हिषि तर्पिना तर्पिता कृत आवृत स्नानया कृत अवभृत स्नानया पृथवे भूरि कर्मणे पृथवे भूरि कर्मणे वरान् ददुस्ते वरदा वरान् ददुस्ते वरदा ये तद्बर्हिषि तर्पिता ये तद्बर्हिषि तर्पिता कृत आवभृत स्नानया पृथवे भूरि कर्मणे वरान् ददुस्ते वरदा ये तद्बर्हिषि तर्पिता कृत आवभृत स्नानया पृथवे भूरि कर्मणे वरान् ददुस्ते वरदा ये तद्बर्हिषि तर्पिता. Please recite. कृत आवभृत स्नानया पृथवे भूरि कर्मणे वरान् ददुस्ते वरदा ये तद्बर्हिषि तर्पिता कृत आवभृत स्नानया पृथवे भूरि कर्मणे वरान् ददुस्ते वरदा ये तद्बर्हिषि तर्पिता कृत आवभृत स्नानया पृथवे भूरि कर्मणे वरान् ददुस्ते वरदा ये तद्बर्हिषि तर्पिता कृत आवभृत स्नानया पृथवे भूरि कर्मणे वरान् ददुस्ते वरदा ये तद्बर्हिषि तर्पिता. Anybody from Vaishnavis? कृत आवृत स्नानया पृथवे भूरि कर्मणे वरान् ददुस्ते वरदा ये तद्बर्हिषि तर्पिता. So we'll see word to word meaning. Krita, having performed. Avabrita snanaya, taking a bath after the sacrifice. Prithave, unto King Prithu. Bhuri karmane, famous for performing many virtuous acts. Varan, benedictions. Dadu, give. Te, all of them. Varada, the demigods. Bestower of benedictions. Ye, who? Tad barhishi, in the performance of such a yagya. Tarpita, become pleased. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki. Translation. After this, Prithu Maharaj took his bath, which is customarily taken after the performance of a yagya, and received the benedictions and due blessings of all the demigods, who were very pleased by his glorious activities. Please recite the translation in response. After this, Prithu Maharaj took his bath, which is customarily taken after the performance of a yagya, and received the benedictions and due blessings of the demigods, who were very pleased by his glorious activities. Purport. Yajna means Lord Vishnu, for all yajna is meant to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu. Since the demigods automatically become very pleased with the performance of sacrifice, they bestow the benediction upon the executors of yajna. When one pours water on the root of a tree, the branches, trunk, twigs, flowers, and leaves are all satisfied. Similarly, when one gives food to stomach, all parts of the body are rejuvenated. In the same way, if one simply satisfies Lord Vishnu by the performance of yajna, one satisfies all the demigods automatically. In turn, the demigods offer their benedictions to such a devotee. A pure devotee, therefore, does not ask benedictions directly from the demigods. His only business is to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, he is never in a need of those things supplied by the demigods. Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan Bhagwan ki, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai Chandra Bhagwan ki, Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. You see text 41. Vipra satvitushta shraddhaya labdha dakshina ashisho yuyujer kshatter adi rajasya satkrita. With great respect, the original king, Prithu, offered all kinds of rewards to the Brahmanas present at the sacrifice. Since all these Brahmanas were very much satisfied, they gave their heartfelt blessings to the king. Text 42. Tvaya huta mahabhao sarva eva samagataha Vujita dana manabhyam pitrir devarshi manava. All the great sages and Brahmanas said, O mighty king, by your invitation, all classes of living entities have attended this assembly. They have come from Pitruloka and the heavenly planets, and the great sages as well as the common man have attended this meeting. Now all of them are very much satisfied by your dealings and your charity towards them. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 4th canto, 19th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled King Prithu's 100 Earth Sacrifices. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Nadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsya Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. First of all, I seek blessings from all the assembled devotees, in particular His Grace Anandamaya Prabhu, so that we can discuss from this very interesting section of Srimad Bhagavatam. And whenever we read Srimad Bhagavatam and try to understand the pastimes of Lord and His devotees, it gives satisfaction to the heart. And of course, it also gives enlightened path for us to walk for. So whenever such pastimes happen, we can learn so many lessons from every instance in Srimad Bhagavatam. So now in this section we have seen that Indra has resorted to adharma for his sense gratification. Now here in front of Prithu Maharaj there was a challenge whether he should accept Indra as a competitor and compete with him, or should Prithu Maharaj just let it go, or should Prithu Maharaj kill him because he is an offender. So there can be multiple views by which Prithu Maharaj could have seen Indra as. In the past also we have discussed why Indra did all that thing, because of two things. One of his personal sense gratification, another was just for that name of Shatavrata, having performed 100 Ashwamedha Yagyas. And for some reason Indra was so childishly envious of Prithu. If Prithu Maharaj gets that name Shatavrata, childishly envious, because he had no reason why he should be envious. He would have never accepted the post of Indra, even it would have been given for free. Because only for sense gratification, nobody should jump over their rights. Like sometimes people want a higher position. Why? Because there is bigger sense gratification available. But Prithu Maharaj, now that having completed 100 sacrifices, would not have deterred from his dharma of maintaining these living entities who were given to him for the sake of, okay, now I am qualified, so let me go and do sense gratification. That is not the way Prithu Maharaj used to live his life. So here we have Indra who has resorted to adharma for sense gratification, and here we will see Prithu Maharaj has given up sense gratification for the sake of dharma. So there is a gradation where Indra lies, where Prithu Maharaj lies. So here in this particular section it is said that now Prithu Maharaj has given up 100 sacrifice does not mean that demigods have not pleased. They are very, very pleased with his dealings. They were very, very pleased for him by giving up his attachments. So when we have a higher goal in our life, we give up lower attachments. I should be called as this. I should have so many facets of sense gratification. We give up all that thing. So what went in Prithu Maharaj's mind is that when he started the yagya, started the 100 Ashwamedha Yagyas, what was his goal? His goal was welfare of the citizens and pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Both were his goal. But when he has seen that, what it has led to, it has led to adharma. And because Indra has done adharma, many people will follow his path. You will see sometimes even those who are followers of some kind of religion, they quote that, in your own scripture, such and such person did such a mistake. So what's wrong with me? Like when we were preaching, one of the person whom I encountered with, he had a question. He had a burning concern that when Balramji can drink intoxication, why I can't drink intoxication? Of course, why Balramji did that is a transcendental thing. But people try to catch up with that. See, Indra, he did this thing, so I can also do that. So, of course, my answer to him was, when Balramji drank intoxication, he never had a liver problem. You will never see that Balramji got over drunk, he fell down on some street, and he has some liver problem to get treated by other people. So Balramji is a special personality, and of course that liquor can never be compared with the liquor in this material world. That is a different category, this is a different category. But the idea is people will catch up with that. They will not try to understand dharma scientifically. Most of the people try to understand dharma superficially. So, King Indra is also like that. He is not concerned that my sense gratification is causing so much problem. Others are becoming adharmis. Whereas Prithu Maharaj was concerned about this. And definitely as a king, Prithu Maharaj taking step to correct Indra would have a very rightful action. Whereas in one view, it can be seen that Prithu Maharaj also took it as a challenge. That if Indra wants to stop me, I will definitely do it. So in one sense, that is also childish. Like if you see a child, if you tell a child that don't do this, he will definitely do that. So at one point of time, Prithu Maharaj's activity was also not completely according to a liberated person. So then Brahma had to come down. We see that when Brahma came down, Prithu Maharaj had that sense of respecting Brahma and Brahma's instructions that, when somebody is not a rightful competitor, you need not do any competition. A competition amongst equals to do something good is good. But if you have unrightful competition, like for example, you are a very good runner, if you are running very nicely, you don't end up running with a rat and think that I ran better than rat, or it is wrong competition. Although rat may run faster than you, but you getting into that rat race is wrong because you are of a different category. Rat is of a different category. You may lose it, but still there is no point in getting into that kind of a feeling that I have not done that. So Prithu Maharaj, upon the instructions of Brahma, immediately realized and he stepped back. Here in the last verse and in this verse, when it is mentioned that he abandoned his eagerness to perform yagyas and he took the bath. This abhruta bath snanaya means that you do it to signify that something is completed or some phase of activity is completed. So at the end of every sacrifice, this is done. Abhruta snanaya, thinking that this is completed. So Prithu Maharaj completely gave up that competitive spirit. He now the other aspect what is remaining here is that Indra should be punished or at least corrected. Because somebody who is a wrongdoer, if he is not corrected, that is the biggest mistake. The mistake of a person is committing a mistake. The mistake of the superior is not correcting somebody who is subordinate to him at a right time, in a right way. So now Prithu Maharaj definitely might have had this thing in his mind that okay, on the instructions of Brahma, I am letting go my personal attachment. I am seeing that by letting it go, it is in the benefit of the public welfare. So let me give it up. But then what next? How do we correct Indra? So when we see that, of course, definitely Prithu Maharaj as a king, has a right to correct anybody who is doing irreligious thing. Like when we see Parikshit Maharaj, when he saw that Kali is doing some mischief, he was immediately ready to punish Kali. He was not ready that okay, Kali is doing some mischief, let us have some court session. Whether he is doing right or not, let us have some discussion. Nothing like that. He was ready to punish. He immediately took up his sword and was ready to kill him. So definitely this is the duty of king, that you punish somebody who is mischievous. But we can also see in the future that when Indra, being a demigod, in one sense he is under the superior demigods. Above Indra are Brahma, Shiva and Lord Vishnu. So for Prithu to become pacified of this thought that he should be punished, that is the reason why a superior person of Indra has come to pacify. If there is some other demigod like Chandra or some other demigods would have come, it may not have solved the problem of Prithu. And then of course Brahma, when Brahma came, Lord Vishnu was also very pleased that Prithu Maharaj gave up his attachments and now he is ready to conclude at peace with King Indra. So Lord Vishnu was also very pleased. So then Lord Vishnu brings Indra along. We will see in the future that Lord Vishnu brings Indra also along, and he gives very sarcastic words also to Indra, where Lord Vishnu chastises Indra, and he brings him, and then you will see that Indra pays obeisances to Prithu Maharaj in the future. So although Prithu Maharaj has given up, Indra's offense has not been counteracted. So that is the reason why even amongst great personalities, Indra also in one sense is a great, and Prithu Maharaj was definitely Amsha Avatar of Vishnu. So even amongst great personality, there is a exchange of a forgiving one and asking forgiveness from. So nobody becomes great by just being a very, very adamant person saying that I will never ask forgiveness from anybody. Especially when your superiors tell that you now this is your mistake, you beg forgiveness from, we should accept that. So this also is extended to the idea that the superiors should have great intelligence, great wisdom to keep two opposing parties on the part of dharma. Of course, Indra always fails, and Prithu Maharaj becomes people who are following religious principles like Prithu Maharaj may sometimes be told to excuse somebody who is on the side of adharma. So this is the role of superiors. When a superior personality is always present, he always accepts. So Brahma came, instead of telling that I will accept your Ashwamedha Yajna, he said, I will accept you giving up Ashwamedha Yajna. So this Abhrata Snana also signifies that he has completed sacrifice successfully. He has given up this ego, and then he got blessings of everyone. Not just, you will see that in some time before, these demigods and the priest also wanted that Indra should be killed. But when Brahma came, they also became pacified. They also said, okay, no problem, we are very pleased by your sacrifices. So somebody who aims to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he need not go on, executing yajnas to please demigods. In one sense, it is inferior to please demigods and not understanding that the goal of these yajnas is Lord Vishnu. So here Prabhupada speaks about the demigods also. If Krishna is pleased, ultimately all the other demigods will also be pleased. Although Indra was like an opponent, very direct opponent for Prithu Maharaj, but because when Vishnu appeared, Indra also gave up that. At least momentarily, Indra gave up that. And that was rightful correction for King Prithu. So this is the role of superiors. In Bhagavatam, in various other places also we see, whenever there is a discrepancy in two authorities, we should go to an higher authority. In the next canto also you will see, when there is Priyavrata, who is the son of Swayambhu Manu. And Swayambhu Manu was feeling that Priyavrata should help him in his services. Whereas Narad Muni, out of his own, adventure in preaching, right? There is some kind of adventure in preaching, which only preachers can understand and realize that. So Narad Muni was in his adventure. He has already preached to so many sons of Daksha, and he has seen that adventure giving rise to some sensation. Daksha cursing Narada, like that. So he was, of course, Narad Muni is always driven by the sense of preaching. So then Priyavrata was little bit inclined more towards Narad Muni, and Swayambhu Manu was also giving him instructions. So Priyavrata was confused now what to do. Narad Muni is telling something, Swayambhu Manu is doing something. So then there we will see that also Brahma takes that role of being a superior of superiors. So that's why whenever we have, it is a very scientific process to have Guru Parampara system. It is not that we have only one superior and nobody else. So that kind of system is not very appreciated in Bhagavatam. You have a superior, you have superior to a superior also. And all are, although want to give you Krishna consciousness, they have their own ways. Of course, the goal is to please Krishna. So in Krishna consciousness, we should have more emphasis on goal-oriented consciousness than the process-oriented consciousness. Like we may think that my austerities may please Krishna or my sacrifices may please Krishna, but sometimes we may not be really so. Like one pastime I remember from Srila Prabhupada's past Leela. At one point of time when Prabhupada was taking a parikrama for Vrindavan, one or two disciples of Prabhupada were walking barefoot and almost their feet was pricked by thorns. So having been asked that why are you walking barefoot? They said because this is Dham, we wanted to experience the Dham being barefoot. I'm not sure, I mean, was it Vrindavan or some other place? Anandmay Prabhu can correct me if I'm wrong. So, but Srila Prabhupada said, already there are so many austerities. Why do you want to do something which is not very directly pleasing to Krishna? So, we should give up, at one point of time, we should give up the process-oriented thinking that, my austerities, my sacrifices only will please Krishna. The goal is to please Krishna, so we should ask Krishna what pleases you. So then, definitely Narada Muni and Swayambhu Manu who are preaching to Priyavrata, both were in one sense inferior to Brahma. Narada Muni is son of Brahma, Swayambhu Manu is also a Manasa Putra in one sense of Brahma. So then when Brahma comes up, both of them have to align. Both of them should not continue, disarguments in front of a superior. That is actually a Vaishnava etiquette. You can continue your disarguments till the time you are dealing with an equal person. But when a superior person comes and gives his conclusion, both of them should happily accept. So here we see that when Narada Muni saw that Brahma has come, Swayambhu Manu also saw that Brahma has come. So whatever verdict Brahma gives, both of them agree and go ahead. So that is Vaishnava thing. So although Indra is very badly beaten up in Bhagavatam, every pastime Indra comes is just beaten up. Very hardly we will see any glories of Indra in Bhagavatam at least. But one small thing what we could extract it out is that at least when Lord Vishnu got him along and he said that now you take forgiveness from Prithu, then at least then Indra says that okay, please forgive me. So this is very instructive lessons for all the devotees who are practicing in Krishna consciousness, how we go ahead and how do we deal in various situations in life. What do we give importance to the goal of pleasing Krishna, or do we give goal to the various process of ritualistic work, whether that be Varnashrama Dharma, or whether that be King's Dharma, whether that be various Dharma. So that is the highest significance why Krishna tells Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. So most people it is quite difficult. Why Krishna tells Sarva Dharman Parityaja? Prithu Maharaj is an example. He gave up his dharma. As a king's dharma, he gave up two aspects of king's dharma. One is that performing of a sacrifice. Second one was not punishing the miscreants. So he gave up these two dharmas. Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Okay, fine. Supreme Personality of Godhead will take care. So not performance of the duty should not be a negligent aspect that somebody does miscreants. Okay, I will give up. No. In the Prithu knew that Krishna will take care. So the best thing we can do to the people who are miscreants and to whom we cannot punish, we pray to Krishna. Not pray to Krishna because he is our enemy. Pray to Krishna because you do right thing for him. You do what is justified for him. to be like. So Lord Vishnu has his own calculation of what all services Indra has done. In terms of either creation, maintenance, or whatever it may be. Although it may not be very pure devotional, but if Lord Vishnu gives credit to that, it is Lord Vishnu who is giving credit to that. So we give it up. So when we do not know a complete picture of the entire pastime, entire story, it is better to accept a superior verdict based on very sound logic, very matured understanding, and very practical dealings. So Prithu Maharaj, by engaging others in a sacrifice which will kill Indra, could also have got into adharmic activities, which should not be, general citizens should not do that. So a leader should be knowing that your activities will be imitated. Your activities are not your activities. A leader should have this consciousness. Your activities are not your activities. Your activities are imitated by people. Prabhupada writes in one of the few previous purports, Yadyad acharati shreshtas tattat evaitro yuna. So it is equally applicable to Indra, equally applicable to Prithu Maharaj also. So from the pastimes of Srimad Bhagavatam, all these various aspects can be understood and very nicely read and understood. So from today's discussion, what few points in summary is for discussion is that we should be goal oriented than process oriented. The goal of course, devotees is pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So what we have started our activity for, we should not get distracted. Indra was trying to distract King Prithu from doing welfare activities to heinous activities. So we should not get distracted by instincts of others. That is another lesson. The lessons for superior people is that always guide those who are dependent, those who are disciples for them in a right path. And always give dharma more importance than personal sense gratification. So these are all the few takeaway lessons from Prithu's pastimes from at least this lesson. And in the next lesson we will see Vishnu's appearance. Vishnu's appearance means the sacrifice is successful. So this is all we can learn from the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam and implement in our life to whatever extent we can. So this is what we thought we can discuss in today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Anybody has any questions or any comments, please ask. Yes, question? So, how to be goal oriented and not process oriented? So, in Krishna consciousness, the goal is one, Ekeha Kurunandana, that is to please Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, the process is how do we do it? Like, for example, we may do austerities, we may observe Ekadashis, we may observe chanting, we may observe 4 regulatory principles. All this is process. But while doing process, sometimes we become externally attached to the process than a spirit of that process. Like for example, your superior gives us a particular service on Janmashtami. Just giving example. And now you doing complete fasting on Janmashtami, if you are not able to do that service, but your superiors, your spiritual master is anticipating that you will do that service. So it is better to clarify that can I have some prasadam and then do the service rather than not doing service or doing it in a wrong way. So then we may think, like sometimes it happens in Krishna consciousness. On Janmashtami we have a very special attraction that I should be in the near the altar when the main Abhishekam is happening. But if your service is given, you please go and distribute prasadam. It may be difficult that it's in one sense personal gratification. So that is process oriented way. Goal oriented is what pleases Supreme Personality of Godhead. So for Priyavrata also, he did all these austerities on the instructions of Narada Muni. The goal was defined that the goal is to please Supreme Personality of Godhead. When Brahma came and told this is what will please, he accepted it. So process may not be sometimes directly pleasing Supreme Lord, but the goal should be that if the process is changed also, we attain the goal. That's why sometimes devotional service is compared to a river. You'll never see that river is directly flowing straight. There are so many obstacles come, but still river still find out the way how to reach the goal, that is the ocean. That's why we should be goal oriented. We need not be so much of process oriented. Okay. Thank you all very much. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki